Everybody, it's business, and I've got a replay of an incredible match. A huge finish on this one. I'm in my Amagi, and I've got this fully upgraded save for the FCS. I don't have the full range on it yet. And Kamikaze is in his North Carolina, and as far as I'm aware, he has everything fully loaded. I think he only has, like, at the time of this video, he only had something like 60k to the Iowa. So, taking a look at that team makeup there is pretty interesting. Between the two of us, we're obviously not concerned with the Ryujo at tier 6, their carrier, since we don't have one. We have, the two of us at tier 8 for the battleships. However, my main concern is that Mogami, after playing it, I quickly remembered why it's such a huge threat. The combination of range, the HE spam, and just the mobility of it overall is, it's an impressive package, and it's definitely one of those ships that you've got to target and knock out as fast as possible if it's on the enemy team, because chances are it's running the 155s, and every 9 seconds or something, with the upgraded skills, it's going to be launching a salvo of 15 shells at you, and any one of those has, I think it's a 13 or 16% chance of a fire. That's really not that fun. So unless you're shooting it, of course. But so get to target him right off the bat. Dispersion sends it all over the place. I figured I wasn't going to do much of anything to him, but have a few of their ships starting to head over to this side with us as well, and have our, I think it's a Matsuki up front. Yeah, I think it is. Sending off some torps to deter them from advancing too quickly. But obviously he's sending them to try to hit the damn ships, but I was just saying, it does help. So I've got an Atlanta to my right, and they've already lost an Atago, because it's an Atago and they die first before anything else is able to. It moths to a flame, right? But if you start getting in matches with Atagos, like if you're at tier 6, 7, or 8, keep track of how many times an Atago dies right at the start. It's astonishing. Like, I had it was this match and then 2 more after it where an Atago died first. So I normally wouldn't pull a turn like that when I know the not the carrier, but the battleship is gonna fire at me in any second. Luckily, it turned out to be HE, so I wasn't terribly concerned once those shots fell in, because chances are when they fire it once, they're gonna fire it again. In terms of the HE shells and whatnot, they, it's a lower tiered ship. I would almost expect him to stick with HE, because he probably hasn't figured out that AP is the way to go, at least battleship versus battleship, and especially when he has a shot on my side. So that could have really changed this match right at the start, but luckily it didn't. So while nothing necessarily happens here for the first few minutes, I did want to show how the match develops, because that's a big part of the story, as far as how oh yeah, you did good that round or something, and yeah, 150,000 damage, yeah, that's cool. Well, that's really only part of the story. You seeing how somebody handles their ship, how they put themselves in the position to make that damage, I think is a hell of a lot more important than the actual damage values themselves. And as you can see, I'm really confused about what our team is currently doing at the moment. So they're just kind of still in the cap circle, just kind of moseying around, doing nothing much really. And I know that's because they're within range of other ships there in the center, and there's obviously fire going back and forth. But there's just really nothing happening there. And the real problem, I think, are the two destroyers that are in the top right. You know, the enemy has a Ryujo. He's not a threat to pretty much anybody, and at least not at the tier 7, tier 8 cruisers and whatnot. I mean, they can knock down his planes pretty damn quick. And they left the 8 line exposed, which I'm pointing out now that we have a destroyer in our backfield. It's just not a good situation in my opinion. So, and their firepower is pretty well balled up. So right now I'm wondering exactly what the scenario is going to be. Like, what will it take for us to actually win this match? And I'm trying to figure out what to shoot at the moment, because I've got a lot of targets in range. I just don't have a really good angle on anybody, and I'm the type that wants to wait until I have a better idea of when to shoot, and like if I think I'm going to do maximum damage, like, oh, I don't know, say this salvo. And ouch. Yeah. So that kind of changed things for that guy as he turned away and you know, starts to head off and hit his repairability. But you know, when you get hits like that, it's not that bad to you know, hold on to your shots. I know some people say always make sure you're reloading. I'd rather just have my shots ready for the moment when I can actually do the right damage. I mean, granted, there's a lot to be said for shooting and preventing somebody from advancing, which you can do pretty easily. You know, people just don't want to get hit in the first place. That's why there's so much passivity in the game currently. And props to this Atlanta. I feel bad because we had to head back to base, because obviously nobody was going to do anything about this. And he helped us with that destroyer, which I just obviously wasn't going to be able to manage any hits on. I was really hoping to get this New Orleans as I flung my ship around, but unfortunately, TM Hayes, you did a good job. I'm sorry I had to leave you. So, and speaking of which, actually, the Atlanta, I had one gifted to me by a YouTube viewer who I've been working with in terms of, you know, we've divisioned up a number of times, and so Jason Yang, thank you. I can't express my gratitude enough. I really appreciate that, and I hope to do an Atlanta video here sometime soon. I just got to play it, you know, more than a few times a night. It's a fun ship. It's batshit crazy, I'll say that much. Especially if if you do a division of 3 of them, just absolutely, completely insane what that ship is capable of. But that's for another time. Anyways, I did want to mention that if you take a look down at my consumables at the bottom, I have the premium versions of the repair party and the healing party. It's tier 8. I'm not going to mess around with this crap. It's 45,000 credits. I can deal with that. I don't care. And get only a single penetration on the Mogami, so 4,100 damage. I was hoping for a few more hits, try to dissuade him from doing what he's doing on our cap, but it actually sends him further off. And as he tries to get out of my range. But we have our destroyer down to my right here off screen, and the Atlanta is pushing right towards him. So get him knocked out right there, and we're able to start pushing more towards our base and get our destroyer down to the south. Get him angled back towards the base so he can help with us, and hopefully get the cap cleared. So we're personally, at this point, I'm still not sure what the hell's going to happen. You know, we're down. We just lost a 3rd ship, and we have just a heavily damaged Fuso and the destroyer. Send off a salvo against the Mogami there. Tried to split that over to the destroyer on our cap. Managed a Citadel, so that's good. But again, it's just a quick ship, very nimble. Not terribly surprised. I may get, only 1 or 2 hits out of the full salvo. Switch over to HE, and you can see our Fuso is just sending shots. Actually, oh, okay. He's sending shots over to the Mogami. I thought he was shooting the destroyer the whole time, which you'll see in the cap, or not in the cap, the chat box. Was my impression when he was complaining about the AP performance, but get a decent salvo against the Farragut. Not enough, unfortunately. If that was a Nagato that I was using, I probably would have killed him outright because it's a Nagato and surprisingly accurate when you want it to be. But so we're just steaming towards the cap circle here. Now it's, yeah, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 ships remaining. And I still can't kill this damn ship. Get a bunch of modules though, so that's good. He's already used his repair party, I know that much. So he's going to come down to a stop. It's 7v2 right now. And we're obviously going to get these two, so that's good. I know Kami has a broadside to the cap right now. As do I. I fired HE because I'm still focused more on the destroyer than anything else, and I want to make sure that I can kill him. But Kami takes him down, and I freaking miss. He's got like 200 health, And at this point, this was really stupid. I decided to let my secondaries do the work, which I don't know why I thought that would work, because as you can see right about here, when the secondaries start firing, yeah, I'm not going to hit the damn dude. I can't rely on them to. So I turned my ship over towards him and just get rid of him finally. Now, this is exactly what I was hoping for. The enemy ships are grouped up and they're coming down together. And the reason why I wanted this was because I didn't want to draw, and I wanted the chance to make something happen. And I'm sitting here burning away, and I have my my fire flag because that's an absolute requirement on battleships, regardless what level you're at. But sending HE salvo off to, ooh, nice. Send an HE salvo off to the Atlanta, take out a whole crapload of modules. So switch back over to AP. So they have this Atlanta, there's a Nagato, there's a Colorado, a New York, and a Fuso. And Kami gets the Atlanta cleared out, trying to see who's got the best chance for me to do some damage to here, because they're all coming at us. I mean, there's not really much in the way of options in terms of the, like, if somebody had opened up their side or whatever, I'd aim for them. But a lot of penetrations there against the Nagato, and as you can see in the chat, I can't believe somebody even suggested that we would try to force the draw. I mean, that's just retarded. I don't care about the repair bill. I'm going all in. And of course, we do some Mad Max quotes there a moment ago with Valhalla and Witness. So it was a pretty damn good movie too. I liked it a lot. But I was initially not thinking that like, it wasn't in my mind that somebody was going to ram, and then somebody mentioned ramming speed in the chat, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta adjust that. I tried to get that New York out of action as fast as I can. I can't manage it though, unfortunately. And right there, if you saw that salvo that hit the island from the Colorado, I guarantee that saved my life, because now he's on the reload, and we're right on par with each other, where he has at least 2 guns that are on reload, and I have a few as well, but I'm going to get my shots off first. So, sink some rounds into really good penetrations into the Fuso there since he gave me his side, and then I beach myself of all things. So, not ideal. Not at all. And I've got my 2 front turrets, going right for... Yeah, right there. So, because of the angle and how close he is, I know it's not going to hit where I'm shooting at, you know, from where the guns are firing. So I was hoping they'd go for the midships, and right there, that salvo does as well. So I start backing up, bringing my... Actually, I don't know port and starboard very well, so you have to forgive me. My left side around. I'm fully exposed to this Nagato, and I still can't kill this guy. It's pissing me off now. Kami gets the New York right there, I think. Yeah. So the New York is down. Now it's 2v2. Everybody's messed up. I'm all out of heals, and Kami is between 2 battleships, and he fires just before my shells get there, so he gets that kill. And unfortunately, again, this guy is left with almost no health, and he unfortunately gets kamikaze. So what a hell of a match, first off. I mean, obviously I'm gonna kill this guy, but you know, as he's trying to swing his turrets around, but my reload beats him, and we win a 7v2. So there you have it. A lot of money, XP, awards, you know, all that stuff. Got a lot of hits. I think I actually only ended up with, like, you know, 25% accuracy or something, but almost 5,000 base XP between the 2 of us, with 9 kills, and ended up with 185,000 damage. So my top damage game in the OBT. But I hope you enjoyed, and look forward to hopefully having more matches like this for you soon. But take care, and see you here next time.